The anomaly zone had quieted. The energy distortions, quantum folds, and flickering vessels that had tested humanity so fiercely were now stable. The fleet led by Commander Alara Singh aboard the Aurora had survived the ultimate trial. Ships that had vanished were now restored, systems repaired, and crews safe. Humanity had proven its ingenuity, courage, and unity under unimaginable pressure. Back on Earth, people watched the live feeds of returning fleets with awe. Families cheered, schools held lessons about the courage and intelligence shown in space, and scientists celebrated breakthroughs in understanding the anomaly. Humanity's achievement was being recognized not just in words, but in every heart that had hoped the fleets could be recovered. Alara gathered her team in the Aurora's command center. Though exhausted, each crew member radiated pride. Pilots, engineers, and scientists had worked together, improvising solutions in impossible circumstances, and now the results were clear. Every rescued vessel and every safe maneuver was proof that humans could overcome the unknown with creativity and collaboration. "We have succeeded," Alara said quietly, letting the weight of the statement settle. Not by force, not by machines, but by thinking, adapting, and working together. Humanity has shown its value, not only to ourselves but to the universe. Dr. Lena Cruz nodded. The intelligence observing us has seen it. We've passed their test, but more importantly, we've proven something to ourselves. Humans are capable of extraordinary problem solving, and that is our strength. Lieutenant Rao added, "This is only the beginning. What we've learned about adaptability and collaboration will guide us in ways we can't yet imagine." As the fleet returned to Earth orbit, they noticed subtle anomalies in the energy fields. Glowing patterns, almost like messages, flickered briefly in ways humans could barely interpret. It was a gesture, a recognition. The intelligence had not communicated with words, but with understanding, signaling that humanity had passed the test. Alara understood the significance. "This is acknowledgement," she said. "They are not hostile. They have observed and tested us. They respect what we have done. And now it is our turn to learn from this experience and continue forward." Humanity did not receive technology or instructions from the intelligence. There were no instant solutions, no shortcuts. Instead, the aliens left humanity with a message of potential. Grow, explore, and innovate on your own. The lesson was clear. Humans could be trusted to chart their own path, guided by ingenuity, courage, and collaboration. Over the following weeks, the fleets underwent repairs and maintenance. Scientists analyzed the anomaly data, engineers improved ship systems based on lessons learned in the zone, and pilots trained in adaptive maneuvers that combined instinct with technology. Humanity was stronger, more confident, and ready for future exploration. Alara and her crew were celebrated as heroes, but they understood that the true victory was not recognition. It was the knowledge of what humans could accomplish. In conversations with Earth leaders, scientists, and young explorers, Alara emphasized that the challenge had shown the greatest power humans possessed: the ability to think creatively, act courageously, and adapt under pressure. Schools introduced lessons about the anomaly zone, teaching children about teamwork, intuition, and problem-solving. Engineers and inventors used the experience as inspiration for new technology. Humanity was united by a shared understanding that their ingenuity was their greatest strength. Meanwhile, the fleets returned to normal operations, but the memory of the anomaly zone remained vivid. Pilots who had navigated quantum folds and unpredictable energy fields shared stories of split-second decisions and creative solutions. Engineers spoke of systems rerouted in ways never imagined, and scientists described patterns of energy that defied known physics. Humanity had faced the impossible and survived. Alara often looked out from the bridge of the Aurora at the stars beyond Earth. Somewhere in the cosmos, the alien intelligence had observed every decision, every act of courage, and every moment of ingenuity. It had tested humanity not to destroy but to measure potential. And humanity had passed not because of technology alone, but because of qualities that no machine could replicate. "The universe is vast," she told her crew, "and we have only begun to understand our place in it. We have proven ourselves, but there is so much more to explore, to learn, and to achieve. Humanity is ready." For the first time, humans truly understood their unique position in the cosmos. The intelligence had challenged them, but it had also affirmed their potential. Humans were not simply inhabitants of Earth, they were explorers, problem solvers, and resilient beings capable of facing the unknown and emerging stronger. In the months that followed, Earth launched new exploratory missions, informed by the lessons of the anomaly zone. Ships were equipped with adaptive navigation systems, crews trained to rely on intuition as well as instruments, and scientists worked on understanding the patterns of space anomalies. Humanity's approach to the stars had changed forever. Ilara continued to lead missions, but she also focused on mentoring the next generation of space explorers. "Remember this," she told cadets aboard training vessels. "Our greatest weapon is not technology. It is our creativity, our ability to adapt, and our courage. These are what make us human, and they are what allow us to face challenges no one else can." In quiet moments, Ilara reflected on the fleets that had vanished and returned. Every ship, every crew member, and every decision had contributed to the larger picture. Humanity had faced a test designed by a presence far beyond their understanding, and they had passed with ingenuity and spirit. The alien intelligence, still unseen, observed from afar. Humans had demonstrated qualities that set them apart, not simply intelligence but creativity, perseverance, and moral judgment. The recognition was subtle, indirect, yet profound. Humanity had earned respect in a universe full of mysteries. As Earth prepared for deeper exploration of the solar system and beyond, the story of the anomaly zone became a legend, not one of fear but of inspiration. Humanity had faced the unknown and emerged capable of more than they had imagined. The fleets that had vanished and returned were symbols of perseverance, adaptability, and the unyielding human spirit. Ilara often stood on the bridge of the Aurora, looking at the endless expanse of space. She knew the journey was only beginning. The alien intelligence had provided no shortcuts, no instructions, only observation, challenges, and the recognition of potential. Humanity's future depended on its ability to continue thinking, adapting, and exploring. One evening, as the stars glimmered like distant beacons, Ilara spoke to her crew. "The universe is testing us, yes, but it is also giving us a chance. We have proven that we are capable of facing the unknown. The anomaly zone was just the beginning. Ahead lies infinite opportunity, and we will meet it with courage, creativity, and unity." The crew nodded, understanding the weight of her words. Humans had faced a presence that could manipulate space itself, and they had succeeded. Every decision, every act of creativity, and every moment of courage had mattered. Humanity had passed the ultimate test and was now prepared for the challenges of the cosmos. The fleets returned to Earth orbit, where celebrations awaited. Leaders, scientists, families, and young explorers honored the crew for their bravery and ingenuity. But the true celebration was quiet. Internal, a shared recognition that humans had proven their worth not by power alone but by creativity, collaboration, and resilience. In the final moments of Part 5, Ilara gazed at the stars beyond. Somewhere in the universe, the alien intelligence continued to observe, aware that humanity was now recognized as extraordinary. The fleets had returned, lessons had been learned, and Earth had gained confidence in its place in the cosmos. Humanity's journey was far from over. The anomaly zone was only the first of many challenges they would face. But now they were prepared, not just with technology, but with the knowledge that their greatest strength lay in their human qualities: courage, creativity, adaptability, and unity. And as the first explorers prepared to venture further into the galaxy, the message was clear. The universe tests those who dare, and humanity is ready to rise to every challenge. The stars stretched endlessly before them, full of mystery, wonder, and opportunity. Humanity had passed the test. They had proven themselves. And the journey beyond Earth was just beginning. The Titan-class battleship had been navigating the domain of the alien gods for weeks. Commander Elena Voss and her crew had faced trials of energy, space, and perception, challenges no other species had survived. Each obstacle had tested their creativity, collaboration, and courage. Every success had been noted by the alien gods, whose immense forms shimmered like living constellations around the ship. Elena stood on the observation deck, her eyes sweeping the glowing structures in space. She could feel the presence of the alien gods, an energy that seemed to stretch across light years, bending space and time. "Athena," she said, her voice calm but thoughtful. "Do you detect any change in their energy patterns?" Athena's synthesized voice responded, precise as ever. "Commander, the alien gods' energy fluctuations indicate acknowledgement and observation. Their attention is focused more intently on the ship and crew. Patterns suggest evaluation is concluding." Elena allowed herself a small smile. "Then we are approaching the moment of truth. Humanity has endured, adapted, and persevered. Now let's see what they think of us." The crew gathered in the control room as the alien god's presence grew stronger. Energy pulses like a gentle heartbeat radiated through space, filling the ship with a soft resonance. Elena felt a mixture of awe and nervous anticipation. This was the first time humans had received such focused attention from beings whose understanding of the universe far exceeded their own. Without warning, the alien gods communicated directly, not with words, but through a series of images, sensations, and ideas that the crew could perceive. Thoughts of civilizations long gone, technologies unimaginable, and philosophies beyond human understanding streamed into their minds. Yet beneath the flood of knowledge there was something clear, a recognition of potential. Elena reached out to her crew. "They're acknowledging our ingenuity, courage, and creativity. They are impressed by how humans adapt to challenges they never anticipated." Lieutenant Rami Chen, usually the most analytical among the officers, was visibly moved. "Commander, they've seen our decisions, our teamwork, our innovations. They recognize that humans don't just react. We invent, adapt, and overcome." Elena nodded. "Exactly, Rami. This is more than recognition. It's proof that the human spirit, the way we think, feel, and cooperate, is something truly extraordinary." The alien god's resonance became more focused, and a central energy form approached the Titan class. It radiated wisdom and power, but not hostility. It was as though the being was studying the humans, evaluating their place in the galaxy. "Commander," Athena said, "the alien gods are initiating direct communication. Their message is not verbal but cognitive. I can assist in translating it for comprehension." Elena took a deep breath. "Do it, Athena. Let's understand what they want to show us." Images and sensations flowed into their minds. They saw glimpses of civilizations that had mastered energy, traveled through dimensions, and built cities in the void of space. But with each vision, the alien gods emphasized one thing: intelligence without creativity and courage was incomplete. They illustrated situations where powerful species had failed because they lacked adaptability, imagination, or the willingness to take risks. Elena realized the lesson. "They're telling us that true advancement isn't just about power or knowledge," she said aloud. "It's about applying what we know in innovative ways, and having the courage to face the unknown." The alien god's message continued, showing humans how knowledge could be shared, understood, and used responsibly. Concepts of energy manipulation, interstellar travel, and communication across vast distances were illustrated in ways even the Titan class could interpret. Yet at the heart of the message, the alien gods emphasized that humanity's strength lay not just in technology, but in spirit. Rami spoke quietly, awe in his voice. "They're offering us guidance, but only if we continue to show the same ingenuity and cooperation we've demonstrated. It's not a gift, it's an opportunity." Elena nodded. "And it's an opportunity humanity is ready for. We've learned to adapt, to innovate, and to persevere. We are ready to take responsibility for what comes next." The alien god's energy forms shifted again, sending a wave of resonance that seemed almost like applause. It was a gesture of acknowledgement, a recognition that humans had proven themselves worthy. Elena felt a sense of pride that was deeper than any she had experienced. The crew of the Titan class had not just survived, they had impressed beings whose perspective spanned millennia. Elena turned to her crew. "Listen, everyone. This is historic. Humanity has shown that we are more than our technology, more than our history. We are capable of creativity, courage, and innovation that even the oldest beings in the galaxy recognize. This is a moment for us to learn, grow, and show that we can be responsible stewards of knowledge and progress." The crew absorbed the message. They understood that the alien gods were not offering dominance or weapons. Instead, they were offering understanding, wisdom, and guidance. Humanity could now access knowledge that would have been unimaginable a generation ago, but only if they continued to uphold the qualities that had brought them this far. Elena reflected on the journey so far. The Titan class had faced energy storms, gravitational mazes, illusions, and temporal distortions. Each challenge had tested not just their ship but their minds and their hearts. Humans had responded with ingenuity, intuition, and courage, proving that their spirit was the greatest strength of all. The alien god's presence began to recede slightly, leaving a calm energy field around the Titan class. It was a signal of trust, as if to say, "We acknowledge your worth. Continue to grow, and the universe will open to you." Elena allowed herself a moment of quiet reflection. "Humanity has come a long way," she said softly. "We've faced tests no one else has survived. And now the galaxy is beginning to recognize that we have potential beyond imagination." Rami placed a hand on her shoulder. "Commander, this is more than we ever hoped for. The alien gods, they've seen us as equals, not because of what we can destroy, but because of what we can create and overcome." Elena smiled. "Exactly. This is the true meaning of strength. It's not domination. It's innovation, courage, and collaboration. Humanity has proven that, and now the universe knows it too." Over the next several days, the Titan class remained in the alien domain, studying the lessons imparted by the alien gods. The crew learned to manipulate energy flows, interpret cosmic phenomena, and understand principles of space-time that had previously been theoretical. Yet through every lesson, one truth remained clear. Humans were not simply receiving knowledge, they were learning to apply it in creative and responsible ways. Elena walked through the ship, observing her crew at work. "Every skill we've gained, every challenge we've overcome brings us closer to understanding our place in the galaxy. The alien gods have recognized our potential, but it's up to us to live up to it." Athena spoke up. "Commander, the alien gods' energy signatures indicate continued interest. They may be preparing the next phase of interaction, should humanity continue to demonstrate ingenuity and cooperation." Elena nodded. "Then we continue to grow. We continue to learn. We continue to show that humans can rise to any challenge and adapt in ways no one else can." The crew felt a sense of unity stronger than ever. They had faced challenges that no one else had attempted, and they had emerged not only intact, but respected by beings beyond comprehension. The Titan class had become more than a ship. It was a symbol of human potential, courage, and creativity. Elena gazed out at the vast, swirling energies of the alien god's domain. "This is only the beginning," she said. "Humanity has been recognized, yes, but recognition is not the end. It is a responsibility. We must continue to grow, to explore, and to innovate. And when we do, there will be no limit to what we can achieve." For the first time in human history, a species had faced the alien gods and proven their worth, not through force, but through ingenuity, courage, and collaboration. The Titan class was no longer just a battleship. It was a beacon of hope, a demonstration of what humans could accomplish, and a symbol to the galaxy that humanity's journey had only just begun. Elena looked at the stars beyond the observation deck, feeling the weight of responsibility and the thrill of opportunity. Humanity had earned a place in the wider galaxy, and now it was up to them to continue proving that they were worthy of the trust, knowledge, and potential the alien gods had acknowledged. The energy around the Titan class glimmered softly, as if echoing her thoughts. The alien gods had seen the humans' ingenuity, resilience, and courage. They had recognized that humanity's strength lay not in power or size, but in the ability to think, adapt, and overcome against all odds. Elena turned to her crew one last time. "This is our moment. We've been seen, acknowledged, and trusted. Now we take the lessons we've learned and carry them forward. Humanity will rise not because of what we destroy, but because of what we create, how we adapt, and the courage we show in the face of the unknown." The Titan class continued its journey, carrying humans into the next chapter of their adventure. With the recognition of the alien gods behind them, the galaxy awaited. Every challenge, every discovery, and every opportunity would be met with human ingenuity and spirit, proving once again that humanity was The human fleet had advanced farther than any had imagined. Under Commander Ilara Singh's leadership, they had entered the heart of the anomaly zone, rescued displaced ships, and proved that human ingenuity could overcome impossible conditions. Yet the alien intelligence had one final challenge in store, a direct test that would push humans to their limits. It began without warning. As the fleet navigated toward a particularly dense cluster of gravitational distortions, the space around them shifted violently. Instruments went haywire. Communication signals distorted into pulses of strange energy. Ships flickered in and out of existence, some appearing to move faster than light for brief moments. Dr. Lena Cruz studied the readings, eyes wide with both fear and fascination. This is unprecedented. Space itself is behaving like a living entity. It's shifting unpredictably. But these shifts are not random. They are controlled. The intelligence is creating a challenge for us. Ilara's expression remained calm. Then we accept the challenge. Humanity does not back down. We adapt, we innovate, and we overcome. Every fleet, every life, every choice will matter. This is the test, and we are ready. The alien intelligence seemed to react to human decisions. As the fleet moved cautiously, the distortions adjusted. Paths that had seemed stable moments ago twisted into deadly spirals. Entire ships were displaced suddenly, only to reappear in slightly altered positions. It was clear. The intelligence was observing, learning, and testing their adaptability in real time. Lieutenant Rao gripped the console. "Commander, the fleet's formation is breaking down. If this continues, we risk losing several ships." Ilara made a quick decision. Use unconventional formations. Scatter into smaller groups, rely on visual cues, intuition, and judgment. Machines cannot anticipate every shift, humans can. Trust your instincts. The fleet split into smaller units, each piloted by experienced crews and supported by adaptive engineers. Communication remained constant, but the reliance on human judgment grew. Pilots adjusted trajectories by reading subtle gravitational cues. Engineers rerouted energy flows to maintain shields and stabilize engines. Scientists observed quantum fluctuations and predicted brief windows of stability. Even the smallest decisions mattered. A miscalculation by a single pilot could cause a cascade of failures. But human adaptability proved powerful. Ships that had been trapped in dangerous folds were guided out, often by split-second decisions that computers could not calculate. Every successful maneuver reinforced the fleet's confidence, demonstrating that human intuition and creativity could overcome challenges no algorithm could predict. The test intensified. The intelligence created a massive energy field that blocked standard communication and navigation. Sensors failed, leaving humans to rely on observation, intuition, and collaboration. Ships began flickering violently, engines overloaded, and energy shields strained under invisible pressure. Ilara's voice carried over the fleet's communication network. "We have faced the impossible before. Trust your training, trust your judgment, and trust each other. Humanity thrives when we act together, when we create solutions where none seem possible. This is our moment." In one particularly daring maneuver, the Aurora Scout and its escort entered a region where space appeared to fold in on itself. Sensors predicted inevitable failure, but the pilot, Commander Imani, relied on subtle shifts in light and gravitational distortion to navigate. The crew adjusted energy flows in real time, and against all odds, the ships emerged safely, rescuing another displaced vessel in the process. Dr. Cruz observed with awe. "Every time we act with creativity, the intelligence adapts, but it doesn't destroy. They want to see how we solve problems. Our ingenuity is being measured, and we are passing." The fleet pressed on, reaching the central region of the anomaly. Here the energy distortions were extreme. Entire ships were caught between quantum folds, engines overloaded, and gravitational waves bent in unpredictable patterns. Yet the humans persisted, coordinating maneuvers, improvising strategies, and demonstrating remarkable courage. Ilara recognized the ultimate lesson the intelligence sought. This was not a battle of force, but a test of human qualities: creativity, teamwork, courage, and resilience. Technology alone would not suffice. Only the combination of human intuition, collaboration, and adaptability could succeed. One moment defined the test. A massive quantum fold threatened to displace a large group of vessels entirely. Sensors failed. Communication signals were almost gone. Pilots faced impossible choices. Ilara made a decisive call. Divide the fleet. Send smaller units to navigate the folds using intuition and visual cues. Engineers stabilize ships manually. Scientists predict brief windows of stability. Trust each other and trust yourselves. The crew acted swiftly. Each decision was critical. Pilots communicated silently with hand signals. Engineers rerouted energy flows to maintain balance, and scientists predicted energy fluctuations that allowed ships to move safely. Human judgment prevailed over machine calculations, and the fleet emerged from the fold intact, having rescued several trapped ships. Alara exhaled, proud but aware that the challenge was not over. The intelligence had one final obstacle, a massive energy wave that could overwhelm the fleet if not countered. Every ship faced the risk of sudden disappearance, and only precise coordination and creative problem-solving could save them. The solution came from a combination of tactics and intuition. Pilots formed dynamic patterns that adjusted in real time to shifting energy flows. Engineers created adaptive shields that absorbed fluctuating energy pulses. Scientists predicted safe zones within the wave, guiding ships through the safest paths. Every action required collaboration, rapid adaptation, and ingenuity. As the fleet navigated the energy wave, Alara noticed something extraordinary. The intelligence, despite its immense power, had not destroyed a single ship. Every obstacle was surmountable, every challenge designed to measure, not harm. Humanity's ingenuity, courage, and unity were being recognized silently. Finally, after hours of intense navigation, the fleet emerged from the final fold. The anomaly zone stabilized. Ships that had been trapped or displaced slowly returned to normal orbit. The intelligence, though unseen, had completed its observation. Humans had passed the ultimate test, not by brute force, but by demonstrating the very qualities that made them unique. The crew cheered quietly, exhausted but victorious. Ships that had vanished for weeks or even months were now free. Humanity had shown that it could adapt, create solutions under pressure, and collaborate under the most extreme conditions. Every individual's courage and ingenuity had contributed to success. Alara gathered her team aboard the Aurora. "This test has proven something vital," she said. "Humanity's strength lies not just in technology or firepower. It lies in our ability to think creatively, work together, and act with courage under pressure. We have shown that we are capable of the extraordinary." Dr. Cruz smiled. "We have proven that intelligence and adaptability matter more than raw power. Our species is unique, and the intelligence observing us recognizes that now." Lieutenant Rao added, "We've faced the impossible and we succeeded. Not because machines calculated the answers, but because humans used intuition, creativity, and teamwork. That is what sets us apart." Alara looked out at the stars beyond the anomaly zone. Somewhere unseen, the intelligence had observed humanity in action. It had tested them to the limits and measured their responses. And for the first time, humans had emerged not just intact, but stronger, more confident, and aware of their potential. The test had ended, but the journey was far from over. The anomaly zone held mysteries beyond comprehension, and the alien intelligence remained silent, watching, learning, and waiting. Yet humanity had proven one undeniable truth. When faced with impossible odds, humans could adapt, create, and overcome in ways no other species or machine could replicate. As Part 4 concluded, Earth prepared for a new era. Humanity had survived the ultimate test and had earned the respect of an intelligence beyond their understanding. The fleets were intact, the rescued ships returned, and humans had demonstrated their true strength. The universe had witnessed what humans could accomplish when courage, creativity, and collaboration were combined. And somewhere in the depths of space, the unseen intelligence observed with recognition, acknowledging that humans were extraordinary, not merely for their technology, but for their ingenuity, resilience, and unyielding spirit. The next chapter of humanity's journey in the cosmos was only beginning, and the lessons of the test would guide them into a future of exploration, discovery, and hope. The day after the second fleet disappeared, Earth's space agencies worked at a feverish pace. Commander Alara Singh and her team were at the forefront, preparing the first mission to enter the zone where fleets had vanished. The objective was clear, though terrifying: gather information, find the missing ships, and understand what force had the power to move fleets across space. Alara walked along the corridor of the flagship Aurora, observing her crew. Pilots practiced maneuvers, engineers double-checked sensor arrays, and scientists reviewed the most complex calculations of their lives. Everyone moved with purpose, though tension lingered in the air like static electricity. "We must be ready for anything," Alara said during the pre-launch briefing. We don't know if we'll encounter a natural phenomenon, rogue technology, or something else. Our mission is observation and survival. Remember, humanity has survived through ingenuity and cooperation. Let that guide you. Lieutenant Rao, standing beside her, nodded. We're ready, Commander. We've trained for unpredictability. We can handle whatever's out there. With a collective sense of determination, the Aurora and a small escort fleet departed Earth's orbit. As they approached the asteroid belt, unusual readings began appearing on their instruments. Energy spikes flickered across the sensors, gravitational distortions twisted the paths of small debris, and quantum interference made communication signals fluctuate. Dr. Lena Cruz, monitoring the readings, frowned. These are unlike anything recorded before. It's almost as if space itself is being rewritten in this area, but it's controlled, deliberate, intelligent. Ilara's eyes narrowed. We are not dealing with random forces. This is a test, or at least an observation. Stay alert. Every action we take could be watched. The fleet moved cautiously through the shifting asteroid field. Rocks that had remained stable for millennia now drifted unpredictably, as though invisible hands were rearranging the environment. Crew members held their breath, aware that a single miscalculation could be fatal. Suddenly, one of the escort ships, the Horizon, flickered in and out of existence. Instruments went haywire. Its communication signal emitted strange static, almost like a faint melody in a language no one had heard. Within seconds, the ship reappeared intact but with systems slightly altered. Dr. Cruz studied the readings. They're not destroying the ships. They're experimenting, testing reactions, responses. They want to see how we adapt under impossible conditions. Ilara felt a mix of fear and fascination. Then we must respond in kind. Humanity's strength lies not in raw power, but in creativity and ingenuity. Let's show them what we are capable of. For the next several hours, the fleet navigated the anomaly zone. Ships blinked out and returned. Instruments recorded unexplainable distortions, and gravity shifted unpredictably. Crew members worked tirelessly, improvising solutions and adjusting strategies. Human intuition proved invaluable, as computer algorithms often failed to predict the anomaly's behavior. During a particularly tense moment, a small scouting vessel, the Pathfinder, disappeared entirely. Panic swept through the command center, but Ilara stayed calm. Focus, observe, adapt, the ship may return. It always does. Minutes later, the Pathfinder reappeared in an unusual orbit near a cluster of asteroids. Sensors detected faint energy patterns, complex, precise, and alien. No words or signs, but an unmistakable intelligence was at work. Ilara and her crew realized that this intelligence was not hostile in the traditional sense. It had no weapons aimed at them, no aggression, only observation, yet the very fact that it could manipulate fleets and space itself gave it a terrifying power. This is first contact, Ilara said quietly to herself. Not with weapons, but with an intelligence far beyond our own. Dr. Cruz looked at her. Do you think they understand us? Ilara shook her head. Perhaps not yet. But they are learning from us. And we must learn from them. Every reaction, every decision, it matters. Over the following days, the crew gathered more data. Tiny signals, almost imperceptible, suggested that the intelligence monitored more than just Earth fleets. Evidence emerged that other civilizations' ships had been held in stasis across the galaxy. Humanity was not alone under observation, but the way the intelligence studied them was unique. Humans were unpredictable, creative, and resilient. Ilara's team began experimenting. They tested unconventional maneuvers, improvised new sensor configurations, and even created communication attempts using mathematical patterns, light pulses, and energy signals. Every effort taught them more about the intelligence, revealing its methods without provoking hostility. One breakthrough came when a small vessel, the Aurora Scout, was temporarily displaced near a massive asteroid. The crew used intuition rather than instruments to navigate it back to the main fleet. The success was celebrated quietly. It demonstrated that human creativity could solve problems where technology alone failed. Meanwhile, Earth waited anxiously for updates. News channels broadcast carefully edited reports, balancing public reassurance with truth. Families watched with awe as humans ventured further into the unknown, showing courage in the face of mystery. Across continents, children imagined themselves aboard spaceships, Engineers designed new prototypes and scientists debated theories late into the night. Humanity was united, not by fear alone, but by curiosity and determination. Despite progress, the intelligence remained a constant, unseen presence. Ships continued to flicker. Energy patterns shifted unexpectedly, and the rules of physics seemed bendable within the anomaly zone. Alara realized that humanity's challenge was not to fight, but to understand and adapt. Late one night, as the fleet orbited a particularly dense asteroid cluster, sensors detected something unusual. A vessel that had been displaced earlier now showed signs of life. Automated systems had partially repaired themselves, and instruments recorded traces of alien influence. Dr. Cruz examined the data, amazed. This is a message. Not words, but patterns. They're communicating in a way we can't fully understand yet, but they are trying. Alara felt a surge of hope. Then we are not alone. They are watching us, yes, but perhaps they are willing to interact. We must be ready to respond in kind. Over the following weeks, the fleet refined their techniques. Pilots learned to navigate space by intuition. Engineers created adaptive systems, and scientists decoded subtle signals from the intelligence. Every success brought confidence. Every setback was a lesson. Humanity's resilience shone through, demonstrating qualities that no machine could replicate. Then came the first direct test. A group of ships approached an area with extreme energy distortions. Computers warned of inevitable failure, yet Alara instructed the fleet to proceed, relying on human judgment and experience. Against all odds, the ships navigated the anomaly safely, proving that humans could succeed where algorithms failed. This is more than survival, Alara told her crew. This is proof that humanity has a unique place in the universe. Our adaptability, creativity, and courage, these are our strengths. We are not just observers. We are participants in this cosmic experiment. As Part 2 concluded, humanity understood one crucial truth. The intelligence beyond the asteroid belt was not malevolent, but its power demanded respect and ingenuity. Humans were being measured, tested, and observed, not unlike a species encountering its first interstellar challenge. Alara looked out at the endless field of stars, feeling both awe and determination. They are watching us, she said, and they will see what we are truly capable of. Somewhere beyond the limits of their sensors, the unseen intelligence observed in silence, acknowledging the first signs of a species that was extraordinary not for its technology, but for its spirit, adaptability, and courage. The game had begun, and humanity had taken its first steps with confidence and ingenuity, ready for whatever lay ahead. The Titan-class battleship emerged from the domain of the alien gods, its hull glowing softly from the energy resonance it had absorbed during its trials. Commander Elena Voss stood on the observation deck, gazing at the stars ahead. Earth, their home, seemed distant yet vibrant, its blue oceans and green continents a reminder of what they were protecting and representing. Humanity had survived unimaginable tests, impressed beings whose knowledge spanned millennia, and now carried the recognition of the alien gods themselves. Athena, Elena said, her voice steady but filled with wonder. Prepare for the return journey. Let's chart the course back to Earth. The AI responded with calm efficiency. Trajectory calculated, Commander. Estimated time of arrival, 8 days. All systems functioning within optimal parameters. Rami Chen, the chief engineer, joined her on the deck. Commander, the energy signatures we've collected from the alien god's domain. They're unlike anything we've ever studied. We could use them to advance human technology by decades, maybe centuries. Elena nodded. Yes, Rami, but we must remember the lessons they taught us. Knowledge without wisdom is meaningless. Our responsibility is to use what we've learned for exploration, progress, and the betterment of humanity, not power alone. As the Titan class traveled through deep space, the crew reviewed the lessons they had learned. They had faced energy storms that seemed impossible to survive, navigated gravitational mazes that defied logic, and recognized illusions that challenged their perception of reality. Yet in every trial, humans had relied on creativity, collaboration, and courage. They had learned that true strength comes not from dominance, but from ingenuity and resilience. Elena addressed her crew over the intercom. We've been tested, observed, and acknowledged. The alien gods have recognized our potential, but our journey doesn't end here. Humanity now has a responsibility to continue exploring, learning, and growing. We represent not just ourselves but every person on Earth. The crew felt a renewed sense of purpose. They had survived challenges that no other species had faced. They had demonstrated to the galaxy that humans were capable of thinking beyond the obvious, adapting in ways others could not, and approaching the unknown with courage and creativity. Every member of the Titan class realized that their mission had become larger than a journey of exploration. It was a symbol of humanity's place in the cosmos. Days passed as they made their way back to Earth. The Titan class navigated star systems that had never been charted, observed phenomena that challenged known physics, and collected data that would advance science far beyond current understanding. Each discovery reminded them that while humans had proven themselves capable, the universe still held countless mysteries waiting to be understood. As they neared the solar system, Elena called a meeting in the main control room. "We're almost home," she said, "but we must prepare for the next phase. Humanity will learn from what we've experienced, and we must share these lessons responsibly. The knowledge we bring back can unite nations, inspire generations, and guide future explorers. We have a chance to shape our future, and the galaxy will notice how we use it." The crew nodded, understanding the weight of their task. Humanity had been underestimated for centuries, but now the perception of an entire species was shifting. The alien gods had seen their ingenuity, perseverance, and courage. They had recognized that humans could thrive not through raw power alone, but through imagination, collaboration, and determination. When the Titan class entered Earth's orbit, the world below erupted in celebration. Holographic projections, news broadcasts, and live feeds showed the ship descending from space. People gathered across continents to witness the moment humanity returned, not just as explorers, but as equals recognized by the most advanced beings in the galaxy. Elena and her crew were greeted as heroes, but they remained humble. They had not achieved this alone. Humanity's collective ingenuity, courage, and resilience had made it possible. And the Titan class itself had become a symbol, a representation of human potential, creativity, and the ability to overcome the impossible. On the observation deck, Elena reflected on the journey. "We've learned so much," she said softly. "Not just about space, not just about technology, but about who we are as humans. Our strength lies in our ability to adapt, to think creatively, and to work together. That is what the alien gods recognized, and that is what will carry humanity forward." Rami joined her, smiling. "Commander, this is more than a mission. It's a turning point. We've proven that humans are capable of standing among the stars, facing challenges no one else could, and emerging stronger." Elena nodded. "Yes, Rami. And now it's our responsibility to continue that journey, not just for us, but for everyone who will follow. We have a chance to inspire, to teach, and to explore. Humanity's story is just beginning." The Titan class remained in orbit for several days, allowing scientists and leaders to study the data collected during the mission. Reports on gravitational anomalies, energy patterns, and alien structures promised to revolutionize human technology and understanding of the universe. But beyond the technical achievements, the greatest impact was in the spirit of humanity itself. People across the planet felt a renewed sense of unity and purpose. The story of the Titan class became more than a tale of exploration. It was a symbol of what humans could achieve when they worked together, trusted each other, and faced the unknown with courage. Schools used the journey as an example of problem-solving and creativity. Governments and space agencies collaborated more closely, inspired by the potential of human ingenuity. Elena knew that this was only the beginning. The recognition by the alien gods had opened doors, but humanity had to continue proving itself. There were still countless civilizations to meet, mysteries to solve, and challenges that would test their limits. But with the Titan class and the lessons they had learned, humans were ready. In the weeks that followed, the Titan class became a platform for education and research. Scientists and engineers studied the vessel, inspired by the innovative designs that had allowed it to navigate the alien gods' domain. Explorers prepared for missions beyond known space, carrying with them the knowledge that humanity had earned respect among the galaxy's oldest and most advanced beings. Elena addressed her crew one final time before the next phase of exploration. "We've returned as humans who have faced unimaginable tests and succeeded. But our mission is not over. Humanity now has the chance to shape its destiny, explore the unknown, and continue learning. Let us carry the lessons of courage, ingenuity, and collaboration forward. The galaxy is waiting, and we are ready. Rami smiled, looking out at the vast expanse beyond Earth. We've come so far, Commander. And yet I feel this is just the beginning. The universe has so much more to teach us, and we are ready to learn. Elena nodded. Exactly. Humanity has been seen, acknowledged, and respected. Now it's up to us to rise to every opportunity and every challenge. We've proven we belong among the stars. And now, we will continue to shape our future, together. The Titan class shone in orbit, a beacon of human potential and achievement. It represented not just technology, but the spirit of a species capable of creativity, courage, and collaboration. Across the world, people looked up at the stars and felt hope, inspiration, and pride. Humanity had taken its first real step into the galaxy, and it had done so with intelligence, ingenuity, and heart. The alien gods' recognition was not a conclusion, but an invitation. Humanity had proven itself capable of rising to challenges beyond imagination. Now the galaxy would watch, learn, and grow alongside a species that had never been content with limits. The Titan class was their symbol, their voice, and their promise. Elena stood one last time on the observation deck, gazing into the starry expanse. We've returned, not as underdogs, but as equals. We've shown that humanity's strength lies not in power, but in courage, creativity, and unity. And this is only the beginning. The galaxy awaits, and we will rise to every challenge it offers. Humanity is ready. As the Titan class prepared for its next mission, the crew felt the weight of responsibility and the thrill of opportunity. Humanity had ascended in the eyes of the universe, not through force or dominance, but through ingenuity, resilience, and the courage to face the unknown. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, filled with mysteries, wonders, and challenges. And humanity, guided by the lessons of the Titan class and the recognition of the alien gods, was ready to explore, to learn, and to thrive. The journey had begun, and the galaxy would never underestimate humanity again.